Welcome again. So now let's work on example number 4 of marginal utility, which we are going to find out the marginal utility for a numerical example of CES utility function, which is equal to 0.5 x to the power of 0.5 plus 0.3 y to the power of 0.5 whole to the power of 1 over 0.5. And we can simply write down this one as this term 0.5 x to the power of 0.5 plus 0.3 y to the power of 0.5, and 1 divided by 0.5, it will become 2. So now we have this CES utility function. Let's find out the marginal utility of x and the marginal utility of y. Then the marginal utility of x is equal to 2 multiplied by 0.5 x to the power of 0.5 plus 0.3 y to the power of 0.5 to 2 minus 1 multiplied by, now let's find out the derivative of the inside, which is 0.5 multiplied by 0.5 x to the power of 0.5 minus 1. X to the power of 0.5 minus 1. And instead of this 0.5, we can write down as a 1 over 2. 1 over 2. So now, this 2 will cancel out with this 2. And we have, so let me clean this part. And we have the marginal utility of x is equal to, so let's move out this term to the beginning. We can write down as a 0.5 x 0.5 minus 1 is equal to minus 0.5 multiplied by 0.5 x to the power of 0.5 plus 0.3 y to the power of 0.5 and whole to the power of 2 minus 1 is just 1. So 2 minus 1 is just 1. So this is the marginal utility of x. This is the marginal utility of x in this case. So now, let's move on to find out the marginal utility of y. Now we have the marginal utility of x. Again, even with the numerical example that a and b is clear, rho is clear, still the marginal utility of x depends on how much x and y we already have. So now, let's find out the marginal utility for our y here. Let me clean this area in order to find some space. So then the marginal utility of y is equal to the marginal utility of y is equal to 2 multiplied by 0.5 x to the power of 0.5 plus 0.3 y to the power of 0.5, and now 2 minus 1 multiplied by the derivative of this inside function, 0.3 multiplied by 0.5, or we can write down this way, 0.5 multiplied by 0.3 y to the power of 0.5 minus 1. So now, marginal utility of y. So now, instead of this 0.5, we can write it as 1 divided by 2. Then, this 2 will cancel out with this 2. And now let's move on this term also to the beginning. When you move out that term to the beginning, we will have 0.3 multiplied by y to the power of 0.5 minus 1 will become minus 0.5. And it's multiplied by 0.5 x to the power of 0.5 plus 0.3 y to the power of 0.5 whole to the power of 2 minus 1 is just 1. So this is the marginal utility of y for this CES utility function. Again, the marginal utility of y for the CES utility function still depends on how much y and x we already have in our consumption bundle. So this is a numerical example for the CES utility function in order to find the marginal utility. So let's see you guys in another video to find out the marginal utility for the what? the marginal utility for a perfect substitute utility function, then until that time, see you guys.